What is going on, you lovely people? It's your boy Roliver Queen, and as always, I am joined by my lovely, scrumptious, delicious, handsome, and flavorful homeboy AJ. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, as always, I'm AJ. We took a little bit of time off, but it's good to be back.
We're good to have you back, brother. And, apologies. Both me and AJ got really fucking busy. But we decided to come back with a vengeance. Cause doing the top 200 is always a great fucking time. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Just gotta share my screen and let's do it. So all right. So as always, guys, we will. Oh, somebody in the chat already. Our soft boy in the building. Yo, thank you for showing up, brother. Thank you for showing up. Good to see you. Good to see you. And yeah, it's been a minute, but we back. We back. So we're gonna do the usual. We'll start off with the first 10, and then we'll give our thoughts. So number one is Amazing Spider-Man 31. Number two is Night Terrorist Batman. Number three is X-Men 25. Number four is Amazing Spider-Man 32. Number five is Uncanny Avengers number one. Number six is Immortal Thor number one. We got number seven, Dark X-Men number one. Number eight is Ghost Rider Wolverine. Weapons of Vengeance Alpha number one. Number nine is Death of the Venomverse number one. And rounding things off at 10 is TMNT, Ninja Turtles Last Ronin Lost Years number five. AJ, what are your thoughts, brother?
My thoughts are that a lot of people have come back to the X-Men line with Fall of X,
Mm.
and that's the most X titles you've seen in the top 10 in a while. I understand you got a few new number ones up there, so that's always gonna, be a little bit of artificial sales. But hey, they got me as well. I'm still behind on a lot of stuff, so I'm catching up. But that was
They got me
probably
too.
some of the what's that?
They got me too. I'm reading Dark
Yeah,
X-Men. That shit heat.
it was some of the best X Men stuff that the lines put out in a while. Not the level, not at the level that it was at when the Krakoa era first started, but yeah, it was. They had some heat come out, so I'm not surprised to see them doing that well. It what else? Let's Amazing Spider Man number one. People keep talking about that book negative ways, but it keeps selling. And also, this
Mm-hmm.
is a $10 book, and it's in the number one spot, folks.
God damn.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Nothing you all say matters about that book. That book is Teflon. Um, let's see what else. And Night Terrors, Batman number two, being the only Night Terrors in the top 10. There are a number of them in the top 50, but that does show that while the event did perform well, some of the excitement dropped off on the second issues of a lot of these books.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what the top 10 is looking like.
Yeah, and yo, Steph, thank you for showing up, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Um, as for my thoughts, yeah, hey man, I've been on here talking a lot of shit about X-Men, but I read the Hellfire Gala. Listen, that was bait and switch. I thought it was just gonna be the regular typical shit, but listen, bodies were dropping, and that shit shocked me. I was like, oh, they going here. And then I was like, you know what? I like Dark X-Men from back in the day. I'll read that because at least then it's a new team. I don't need to know much besides the fact that the X-Men just got their wigs blown off. I'm down with it, and it was awesome. By the way, I can't wait to see what else happens. It sucks that it's a mini, but maybe it's also for the best that it's a mini. Night Terrors. Listen, I am not reading. I decided not to read Night Terrors, but I'm not surprised that it's up here in the top 10. Especially Batman. Let's see here. Everything else, I'm not reading. Amazing Spider-Man. Well, come on, that's a given at this point. Listen, y'all talk so much shit about that book, but it's here, and I bet you, and I think the one of the last streams that we did or that I did, hey man, that Kamala Khan issue, top 50 or at least the top 10, because you know how it is, man. Like you said before, Amazing Spider-Man got Teflon. But oh yeah, did you read Immortal Thor?
No, I haven't yet. I got it. It's sitting on pile. I heard it's really good, but I just hadn't had a chance to get to it yet.
Okay, yeah. Streets to Satan is pretty good. But yeah, I'm not surprised that it's up there as well. But yeah, let's move on to 11. So at 11 we got Conan the Barbarian number one. Number 12, we got Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1. 13, we got the Venomverse number 2. 14, we got Star Wars Dark Droids number 1. 15, Night Terrors 3 or 4. 16, Spider-Man 11. 17, Daredevil 14. 18, Avengers number 4. 19, Amazing Spider-Man 300. And 20, Immortal X-Men 14. So my thoughts, let's see here. Streets was saying that Conan the Barbarian was really good, so I think I'll probably just go ahead and check that out because I really enjoyed having Conan on the Avengers. Sucks that he had to get yanked out the way he did, but it's clear that Conan is a good sell because number 11 is an amazing, amazing, amazing ranking. Um, let's see here. Daredevil 14. I'll probably make a video about my thoughts about the second half of Daredevil. I thought 14 was solid, but overall, I thought the second half of Daredevil was mad weak compared to the first half. I feel like Daredevil, not Daredevil's, I think Devil's Reign should have been the end for Zdarsky and Chichetto. And I think they
Mm.
like, slapped on another arc onto them. I don't know why, maybe just to hold it down until Ahmed. But yeah, good issue, but overall, I was unimpressed with the run. Well, at least that part of the run. Avengers is dope. Avengers is fucking solid. I am pissed off that a new Avengers thing is being announced at New York Comic Con because Jed McKay is fucking killing it. But I think that's about it for me. What about you, AJ?
Let's see here. Like I said, Amazing Spider-Man again is up here. Death of the Venom verse. I think it's a Venom event supposed to be going on, or
Yeah.
something they were doing this summer with Venom. I'm behind on my Venom stuff. Star Wars Dark Droids. I know that's the Star Wars event going on right now. Good to see that up here. Daredevil 14. Yeah, I read all the way up through Devil's Reign. I was reading that, month to month as it was coming out. Then Chip took some time off because with him going and getting Batman started and all of that. So been super behind on his closing out of his Daredevil since they renumbered. I think I read probably like the first 3 issues when they went back to number 1.
Mhm.
So I have to get caught up. But yeah, like Rose said, it did seem weaker to me than his first go around on the title. So I'm not surprised to see that it. Um, I'm not surprised to hear rather that it's weaker as a whole. But 17, that's a pretty good number. Still nothing to sneeze at. Avengers is, yeah, that's probably the one of the better books Marvel has going on right now. Somebody's writing T'Challa decently. There,
Woo!
you got Carol you got Carol leading the team, and it seems like because I kind of wondered how it was going to be with Kelly, leaving the main book and Carol kind of bouncing around until they get her new run started. But she seems to be in a good spot there, so that's good. Let's see, an Immortal X-Men, another X title in the top 20. I'm not surprised. Hey, man, they got a hit with Fall of X, so
Mm-hmm.
good for them.
Yeah, that's about it. And yeah, speaking of Avengers real quick, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this, but um Avengers makes me want to go back and check out whatever the fuck happened with Ridley's run because they're pulling a lot from that. Like Sam and T'Challa are going at it constantly. Like and
That
I
that was
love
more.
to see
Uh,
it.
I think that was more in Sam's Captain America run.
Really?
But I checked out a Ridley's run around issue 6, and I think up to that point, I don't think too much happened between the two of them. So unless something happened after that, I think it was pretty much in Sam's run.
Okay, yeah, because I think something might have happened in Ridley's run also.
Okay.
Yeah, because they mentioned that a lot, and it feels like I don't know, it feels more on that end. But yeah, I think now that it's collected on Marvel, what's the fuck is their app called? I pay for it. I don't even know the fucking name. Whatever.
What is that? Marvel Unlimited,
Yeah, that
Marvel
shit.
Now, something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out there. Because I am interested to see how that came about. Because I know he had a little bit of a tussy with the Avengers. Um, but yeah, that's about it. But yeah, Carol was written very well. And yeah, I'm still going to go ahead and read the first volume of the omnibus. I still have it hanging around there. But yeah, I can't wait for that. But let's move on to the 20s. 21, we got Night Terrors 4-4. 22, we got Moon Knight 26. 23, we got Void Rivals number 3. 24, we have Batman Superman World's Finest number 18. 25 is Spider-Man Annual number 1. 26 is Jean Grey number 1. 27 is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 9. Damn, that went down. Okay. Astonishing Iceman number 1. 28, 29 is Venom 23, and 30 we got Fantastic Four number 10. AJ, take it away.
Okay, first thing I'm seeing is, god damn, I guess I am not gonna be reading whatever that Gods stuff is, that Hickman has going on over at Marvel. Y'all know I'm a Hickman fan, but that is bouncing around way too many titles. So, um, more power to anyone reading it. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to. That's too many books I haven't even read or I'm way behind on. So yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. Batman, Superman World's Finest, top 25. You know, that's pretty much a constant these days. Let's see what else. Night Terrors number 4, finishing out top 25. So hey, yeah, like I said, the event ended up being better than what I think a lot of people thought it would be. And it's going to be kind of important to DC going forward. You're seeing that reflected in the main Night Terrors book more so than the tie-ins, but it
Mhm.
is what it is. Jean Grey number 1, I got to get caught up on it. I think is the second issue out. It might be, but I got it. I just haven't read it yet. Miles Morales, yeah, he's down a bit still. You know, in the 20s. So hey, that's pretty good for him. I didn't even know we were doing an Iceman title again. Okay. Well, yes, I did. Somebody I did hear that. Um, yeah, my boy Bobby's been lost for a little minute, so who knows? Maybe they'll give him something interesting right about now. And yeah, that's about it for this section for me.
Yeah, yeah, I think Miles Morales got caught up in a lot of those events. I think he's caught up in the Venomverse, if I'm not mistaken.
Bro,
Um,
every it I remember because they got that gang war event coming up too.
they
So
got him in there too.
yeah, I looked at it like by the end of the year, more than half of the issues of his runs thus far will have been event tie-ins.
That's fucked up because that run started off very
Yeah.
strong, man.
And it's still good, but it's definitely taking a step down.
Yeah, it sucks. But I think after once they're done with this bullshit, I think it'll skyrocket. I think it'll skyrocket back up because it sounds
I
like they
hope
got
so.
something good going on over there. But still, 27 for Miles Morales is not bad at
Right.
all. At all. Let's see here. I got Superman, Batman, World's Finest. That's a given at this point. But yeah, I think that's about it here. Nothing that I'm really reading here. I am interested in Jean Grey though. I know it's a mini series. I don't know why. Maybe it's like that art, but I'm interested. I may just check it out on digital. Um, but let's move on to the 30s. So 30, we got Fantastic Four number 10. 31, we got Night Terrors, Nightwing 2 of 2. 32, we got Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War Battle Lines number 1. 33, we have Amazing Spider-Man 30. 34, we have Night Terrors, Detective Comics 2 of 2. 35, we have Night Terrors, Superman 2 of 2. 36 is Ghost Rider 17. 37 is Miss Marvel, the New Mutant number 1. That's kind of low for number 1, but not bad. 38 is Superman 23 Annual number 1. 39 is Ultimate Invasion number 3. 40 is Night Terrors Night's End number 1. So let's see here. Uh yeah, we did speak about Batman Catwoman, the Gotham War Battle Lines. I know we have a separate video about that. But I'll just give my quick thoughts here. Yeah, this is very low for a Batman book, but we spoke about it before. A lot of that may have to do with the fact that it's event fatigue. It was a mistake that DC called a crossover an event because literally this came out the same day as Night Terrors, the end of Night Terrors. So that is already a mistake in itself. And the issue wasn't good. I think it's common knowledge now that the Gotham War is so far dog shit. We're 3 issues in. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, the Night Terror stuff, it's gotten soft, especially after the tie-ins, but still not bad. And that Superman 23 annual was really good. Probably one of the stronger stuff that came out last month. Ultimate Invasion, I feel like that should be stronger, but there's a lot of issues there. But yeah, I think that's about it. What about you, AJ?
Yeah, like Rose said, we spoke on Night Terrors. It's not great. New number one for the first book of an event at 32. 32 is never a bad number, so I don't want anybody to get confused what I'm saying, but in event, and I'm saying that with quotation marks around it, centered on Batman, you would think it would debut a little higher than that, but it is what it is. Event fatigue is a real thing. Maybe they'll learn their lesson going forward. Night Terrors continues to do well, but like I said, the second issues of a lot of those titles drop down. So I'm surprised. I'm happy that Miss Marvel, the new mutant, debuted in the top 50. That is good. But I am surprised, that it seems to be a bit lower than I would have thought of. This is her. I want to say this is her first solo since Ahmed ended his run, and that's been a little while.
When was
Maybe I'm
that?
missing, huh?
When was that? When was the last Miss Marvel run?
It feels like he started that run around the time that he started his Miles run. I think there was just a couple of months difference in between. So
Oh, okay.
what? Maybe 2018 or so.
God damn.
Yeah, I might be wrong on my dates. Somebody can fact check me in the comments if they want. But yeah, it feels like it's been a little minute. Yeah, Miss Marvel, she's kind of wandered aimlessly around the Marvel universe. She was just in Spider Man. That's where they killed her off. Now she's in X Men. That's where they brought her back. So I don't know the discourse, and not just on Twitter, but around Miss Marvel, it would have you thinking that that book would have done a little better for the number one, but 37, like I say, is not bad. You just would have expected it to do a little better. The Superman annual, that was really good, and it continues to be top 50. So hey, good, but yeah, you'd want it a little higher, but it is what it is. Ultimate Invasion, yeah, I'm sorry. I think my interest in the Ultimate Universe is come and gone, so it
Yeah.
feels like a little bit past its time. So it is what it is. I might check it all out later. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Ultimate Invasion was supposed to be a Donny Cates thing, but because of everything that's happening with Cates, we wish him well. I want to put that out there. Donny Cates, we are wishing you well, brother.
Yes,
Please take as
absolutely.
much time as you need to recover, brother. Your health is all that matters. That's all I'm gonna say. Your health is all that matters. But I think Hickman was the one who ended up having to pick up the slack. And I think Streets is just not feeling this. Number 39 of 200 is not bad at all, but still, I see it across the board. Nobody really giving us the time of day outside of people. I mean, maybe people IRL, but I think that's about it. I really think that's about it. Um, but yeah, not much else to say here. Not much else to say here. Let's move on to the 40s. And yeah, Softboy said Batman, Catwoman, Gotham was a skip for me. I'll only read it if it leads to the Bat family disassembling. Um, yeah, I personally would just I I don't know. We could touch on that a little bit because we didn't get to talk about it in our video. I don't think the Bat family is going to disassemble. I think it's more just people are going to give Bruce some distance. And it makes sense. I think that's another story angle because, none of the other books are tying into um, Gotham War. So it makes sense that Nightwing is off in the fucking sea and everybody's doing their own separate things. I think people are just going to give Bruce his distance. But once they figure out it's, Zurina that's fucking around with him, I think they'll be back. I don't think the Batman is going to disassemble. People are just going to give Bruce their space because he's been through a lot. Bruce has been through a lot. But I think this is like the straw that breaks the camel's back. But yeah, thank you for commenting. Yeah, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Yeah, keep it coming, brother. Um, let's move on to the 40s. We got 41. We got Alpha Flight number 1. 42, we got Night Terror's Joker, the man who stopped the life in. 43, X-Men Red, number 14. 44 is Night Terror's Green Lantern. 45 is Night Terror's Poison Ivy. 46 is Scarlet Witch number 7. 47 is X-Men Hellfire Gala #1. That gotta be a reprint because my gosh, that issue was fucking heat. 48 Venom 24, 49 is Doctor Strange #6. 50 is Children of the Vault #1. I think I went first last time. So AJ, what you think?
Sure. Let's see. Hellfire Gala. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a reprint. This is what the August list. Yeah, Hellfire Gala is usually middle of summer, so it's probably a reprint. It could not be, maybe not, but I think it is.
I'll check the
Um,
date while you talk. Go ahead.
okay, okay. Let's see, Alpha Flight. I meant to get that. I can't remember if I did or not, but it's been a while since I read an Alpha Flight book, so I'll check it out. Could be interesting. X Men Red. That does seem to be down a little bit, but we got a lot of new #1s, so I'm not sweating that too much. Night Terrors, the Green Lantern Night Terrors. That was really good. The Poison Ivy ones I haven't read yet, and I've got them waiting, but the event's over, so not like I'm just super pressed to read them. Like we said, Hellfire Gala, that was extravagant. That was great. That was, I think it got a lot of people back with the X Men.
Oh,
I know
and
it did me.
I found it out for you. It is yeah, it came out in July.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Then, let's see, Doctor Strange. I'm not reading. Children of the Vault. I haven't read, but I have it, so I'll probably get to that sometime this weekend, maybe. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Also we got one more person in the chat. KJ Sakuma. Appreciate you for stopping by, brother. He said how to support my local comic book shop yesterday. Gonna skip Gotham stuff minus Ram and Chip, but that's my preference. I want Alpha Flight. Haven't read them in forever either. Yeah, hey, listen, we are big preachers of supporting local comic book shop. So please, all you guys who are watching, whether you're in the chat or you're somebody's gonna be watching the replay, please head over to your local comic book shop. Your local comic book shop would appreciate it. And if you can't do that, if you want to be a lazy sack of shit, which I am sometimes, Comixology is also a great alternative to support the industry. So good to hear that you're doing your due diligence, brother. And yeah, have a great time in the chat. And yeah, Ram is doing amazing on Detective Comics, by the way. It sucks that he's not on this list because we would definitely give Ram his flowers. But yeah, it's always a good time with Ram. Well, let's move on to 50. All right, after this, I got to give the disclaimer. This is the shit you got to pay for. Shit you got to pay for. Thank you to AJ, who always has his ICV2 account running. This is how we're doing this. But yeah, let's move on. So we got 51, which is X-Men 36, Fall of X-Men. 52 is Something is Killing the Children 32. 53 is Incredible Hulk #3. 54 is Star Wars 37. 55 is Star Wars Darth Vader 37. 56 is Magneto #1. 57 is What If Dark Venom. 58 is Spawn 334. 59 is Night Terrors The Flash. And 60 is Dark Knights of Steel issue 12. Incredible Hulk, that's not bad for Hulk. And that's not bad for PKJ either. I feel like we didn't do the last 2 months, but I could only assume issues 2 and 1 were within the top 50. But 50 out of 200 is nothing to sneeze at, as AJ would say. But that's great. I love to see PKJ, thriving. Magneto #1, that's very low for #1, but I think a lot of that just has to do with fatigue, X-Men fatigue. Let's see here. Wolverine's very low. That's very low. Wolverine is typically in like the top 50
Mhm.
above this, but I don't know. It could be number factors there. But yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, Dark Knights of Steel is over. I think that's it. But still, 60 out of 200 is not bad. Yeah, like I said, hey, listen, I'm not the biggest modern Tom Taylor fan, but as we see, his stuff sells like hotcakes. So salute to him. But yeah, that's about it. AJ, what about you?
Uh, about the same. Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I think that's a little low for me, but PKJ, He's always somebody. It seems like people are slow on the uptake to come around when he's writing a title, but they always get there in the end and they talk about how much they love it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too stressed over 53. That is still a good number. Yeah, Magneto number 1, like I said, is a bit surprising, but yeah, might be a little bit of X-Men fatigue. I didn't read any of the Flash Night Terrors, so I can't say whether that's justified or not. Dark Knights of Steel. I think Tom Taylor tends to do his best work with Elseworld stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Knights of Steel had some ups and downs. It didn't necessarily end the strongest as I would have liked, but it was decent. It was a fun read. You can tell they're already setting up sequels, so I'm sure we'll see it again within the next year, whatever part 2 is. And yeah, that's about it for this section.
Oh, word. So we got 61, which is Sacrificers number 1. We got 62, which is apparently a favorite of Soft Boy. That is Justice Society of America number 5. We got What If Dark Moon Knight number 1 at 63. At 64, we have Night Terrors Action Comics 2 of 2. 65 is Moon Knight City of the Dead number 2. 66 is Guardians of the Galaxy number 5. 67 is Night Terrors Titans 2 out of 2. 68 is Star Wars Yoda number 10. 69 is World's Finest Teen Titans number 2. And 70 is Night Terrors Wonder Woman 12-2. Yeah, not too much to comment on here. Yeah, this I ain't reading shit from here. Dang. Go ahead, AJ.
I'm kind of in the same boat. A couple. World's Finest Teen Titans. I read the first one. It was fine, funny enough. That's a bit of a kind of nice drop from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Penguin number 1 was really good. But I'm not surprised that it's debuting in the 70s. You know, that's a Penguin's. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say Penguin is their favorite Batman villain. So him getting a book always seemed like a choice. I understand King's writing it, and King is always going to bring an audience, and the book was good, so I can't knock it for that. But I think that one's going to take some time to find its readership. Justice Society number 5. I'm not reading it, but I see they're doing some stuff with Helena Bertinelli. It's my theory. That's why with Helena Wayne. It's my theory. That's why we haven't been seeing much of Helena Bertinelli lately. I think Johns kind of wants to use Huntress for a while, and they probably told him, "Hey, we'll put her off on the shelf because we haven't, the last 18 months, 2 years or so, she was pretty getting some traction pretty heavily with Tamaki's Tech run, then into what was that? Shadows of the Bad, and it was something. She had a couple one shots. Then it was one other thing.
She was in
Lazarus Planet.
Lazarus Planet, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, had a one shot there, and she's supposed to have something coming out of that, but we haven't seen hide nor hair at this point. So who knows if something's going to happen there. It does seem like from the bits I've seen of Justice Society, looks like they're setting up that maybe we're getting ready to get to a Catwoman pregnancy with Helena Wayne at some point. So who knows? Maybe they're getting something shaken with that. Maybe that's why she's not why Bertinelli's not around right now. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not reading too much. Didn't read Night Terrors Titans. I read the first 2 issues of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was fine. But yeah, I'm not surprised to see it down here, especially once folks found out it was a mini, which seems like everything at Marvel is a mini these days.
It for real.
Yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not reading much here. So I think we can move on. We got 70, which is Night Terrors Wonder Woman. 71, Adventures of John Kent number 6. Yeah.
Oh shit, I skipped the Penguin. My fault.
Oh no, bro, you good. You good. 72 is Penguin number 1. 73 is Night Terrors Catwoman. 74 is Gunslinger Spawn. 75 is Night Terrors Harley Quinn. 76 is Invincible Iron Man. Number 9. 77 is Strange Academy Miles Morales. Number 1. 78 is X Force 43. 79 is Night Terror Shazam. And 80 is Night Terror Zatanna 2 of 2. Yo, I am not surprised to see Adventures of John Kent shoot solo because I
Hmm.
have been following that book from the jump and it was selling pretty well. But
Hmm.
that last issue pissed almost everybody off. Like
Yeah, I
I
remember
read
that.
it and I
That
was like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? What
yeah,
are we
I remember
doing?
seeing that outrage on the timeline. I haven't read Adventures of John Kent, so it is what it is. That's yeah, I could tell it wasn't going to be for me, so I didn't even give it the time of day. But yeah, I'm not surprised people are mad at how that ended.
It was. I'll say this. It was a very solid mini. Um,
Mm,
good to see John throwing down. Um, and I thought the stuff with the Injustice world was a little bit. There was potential there, so I wasn't too mad at it. But I think that ending was just the way like everything kind of resolved itself was just bad. And then I think the panel that was circulating on Twitter with John, hugging, Injustice Superman. Yeah, it was just out of pocket. But I think overall the story just lacked towards the end, and you can tell this was probably where Son of Kala was gonna head if it didn't end. And this was just a relaunch so they can have John Kent doing something for 6 months.
mm,
But yeah, the backlash is warranted. Honestly, I'll say that. Penguin starting slow. I don't think, yeah, like you said before, I don't think anybody was asking for a Penguin book. But it's King, and from what I heard was pretty solid. But I think honestly, if there was anybody that was going to get a Batman book, I don't think people expected Penguin. So I think over time we'll probably see it go up. Because I think I can see a trickle effect of Penguin. I can see a trickle effect of Wonder Woman, and kind of getting the ball in with Taylor, not excuse me, King getting his name up there again, and that people may want to check out Penguin. So we'll see. Um, but other than that, nothing much here. Shazam and Zatanna, god damn. But yeah. Oh, speaking of which, we do have a comment. Soft Boy said, "I asked Celia about Huntress to be continued, and I cannot read tonight. I asked Celia about the Huntress Bertinelli to be continued from the Lazarus planet, and he said nothing is coming since it was set up for the Night Terror's villain." Oh, okay.
wow. Okay then.
All right, there's our answer. And it said, "Oof, Night Terror, Shazam, and Avengers Superman, John Kent alone and thought, yeah, yep, Avengers Superman was selling very well, and then that last issue." But yeah, I think that's about it. Anything you read from here, AJ?
The Night Terror, Zatanna, and I think and Penguin, but that's about it from what I've read from these two. Well, no, I read the Wonder Woman Night Terrors. It was decent. Um, Night Terror Zatanna, I think that was supposed to be setting potentially, according to our guy at Bleeding Cool, was setting up a title coming out of that Zatanna and Robot Man, so Hex and Violence. So I hope it being at 80, which is not horrible, but
Not
not great
bad.
by any means. I hope that doesn't negatively impact that because it was pretty fun. One of the more fun Night Terror stories. So I think there's some potential there. You might maybe just do it as a mini and see if you want to extend it later on.
Mm.
But yeah, I think they've got something there if they decide to push forward with it.
Yeah, I can see it happening too, as well. Because Streets have been asking for a Zatanna book, but I can definitely see them doing the mini route for sure. Because I think I don't know, don't I'm indifferent on Zatanna, but I can see how that would be a setup because there's a lot of books that's spinning out of Night Terrors, with one of them being Power Girl, and that Supergirl would be spinning out of it. So I don't see why Zatanna can't spin out either. Um, but yeah, that's about it for me on this section. Um, we do got a comment here from Soft Boy. If Zatanna and Robert Man, Robot Man story actually does happen. That'll be cool. The magic part of DC is kind of lacking. Oh yes, and isn't there? Yo, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a teaser for something happening with Detective Chimp and Doctor Fate in the Donna DC teaser? Like, remember that was more highlighted.
Yes, there was. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, so
you just reminded me of that. Yeah, it was damn, it was something.
yeah,
Um,
we just saw a
I'm gonna
picture.
go
We
back
just saw
and look for
we
that.
just saw Chip holding Doctor Fate's helmet. That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe that could tie into it. Who knows? Maybe they're trying to bring the Justice League Dark back because I'll say this out here. Um, I wouldn't be mad if Justice League Dark is the premier team instead of the Titans. Just
hmm
saying. Just saying. Just
And
saying.
and oh Lord, that just reminded we have a Titans centered event coming up after Gotham War.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
boy.
boy.
I,
Oh.
I don't hate events like a lot of people do, but man, y'all did not pick good ones to kind of
Oh.
set your lineup with this year.
Woo. Listen, I said this on the timeline. Yo, if this is going to push the Justice League to come back, if this is all part of the grand scheme to get the Justice League back,
I hope
I'm
that's
o-
what it is.
I'm not mad because the Justice League is supposed to come back soon because that was teased in that Dawn of DC picture that we got. So
Yeah, I think it's
it's
coming going into 2024.
so listen, Amanda Wallace is trying to fuck up folk with the perceptions of Justice League, and then we got this whole Beast World thing. So personally speaking, I hope the Beast World event is the Titans fucking up so badly, and then that ties into the world not trusting the Justice League, and then the league comes back. I'm looking forward to that because I can't do this right now. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't. I can't. Um, but we can move on. So 81, we got Action Comics presents Doomsday Special #1. 82 is Realm of X #1. 83 is Devil's Cut #1. 84 is Night Terror's Robin. 85 is Death of the Venom First #3. 86 is Cold #1. 87 is Fire and Ice #1. God damn, that's low. 88
hmm
is Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker. 89 is Berserker, Poetry of Madness, and 90 is X-Men Days of Future Past, Doomsday #2. AJ, take it away.
Okay. That Action Comics presents Doomsday Special. Heat, fire. Go buy it if you haven't. Um, that boy, what they did with King Doomsday and Hell and Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, that stuff was excellent. Then they fucked around and brought Bloodwind back in the backup story. I never thought I'd see the day
I don't know who
when
that is, but
yeah, character from back they reworked his origin. They tied him into something that happened in Lazarus Planet. So it's not like OG Bloodwind. This is a new character basically.
okay.
Um but yeah, it seemed like he's gonna be the Superman of Hell. Like that is an amazing premise, and I hope they flesh it
Hmm.
out. Um, let's see here. Night Terror's Robin. That was one of the weaker Night Terror stories. Cull. Man, #1 at 86. That's not horrible, especially for a creator-owned book. But I Kelly Thompson. Like I said, I trust her. So I think that no, those numbers will go up. I got the first issue on my iPad waiting for me to read it, but hopefully it bumps up. Um, fight? No, I don't think that's the DC Fire and Ice. That's
No, that's the
yeah, that's
I
Dynamite
think that's
Entertainment.
oh that's right,
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
Fire and Ice. Welcome to Smallville. Now that I think about it.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Yeah, because yeah, I was gonna have some thoughts about that too, because yeah, we'll save it for when it's actually on this list. I think that's probably in next month's, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what it comes in. But let's just say it was plausible that that could have been the DC version at 87, and so I'll leave it at that.
Good.
The White Knight, I'm behind on the White Knight stuff, so I haven't been reading Generation Joker. I can't believe we're still seeing Berserker books up here. It looks like this might have been a one shot or something, but I feel like that's supposed to have been done a while ago.
Yeah, Berserker's
Um,
done.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, so this is definitely one shot.
okay, that makes sense. X-Men Days of Future Past, Doom. Yeah, I didn't read that, so that's about it for here.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read anything here at all. Yeah, I've read anything. We can move on.
Okay.
See here. 91 Fantastic Four Annual number one. 92 is Night Terrors 2 of 4. That's probably a reprint. 93 is Ultimate Invasion 2. Probably a reprint because we saw number 3 up there. 94 is Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Max Rebo number 1. 95 is Night Terror Detective Comics number 1. 96 Incredible Hulk number 2. Oh, so that's good. That's probably a reprint because we saw number 3
Mhm.
up there. 97 is Battle Chasers number 12. 98 is House of Slaughter number 16. 99 is Deadpool 10. And 100 is Iron Man Annual number 1. Um, yeah, a lot of this is Night Terror stuff. Haven't been reading. Um, yeah, I don't know. AJ, you got anything here?
Um, let's see. It's good for Incredible Hulk and Night Terrors being reprint territory, so they're doing well. But yeah, I really haven't read anything in this part.
All right,
I
so
think we're getting to that point of the list where stuff's just not on my pool right now.
up. Got 101, which is Star Wars Dr. Aphra 35. 102 is World Tree number 5. 103 is Batman the Brave and the Bold number 4. No, that was Night Terrors? Really?
I don't even remember them having a Night Terrors book.
That's news to me. I thought everything was just
Yeah,
continuing unbothered over there.
yeah, I don't remember. I'll have to look at that. I don't
Yeah,
remember that
I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, because that wasn't on the list. I remember that graphic, that horrible graphic. Night Terrors wasn't on there.
one. Hmm.
Okay. The 104 is Gargoyles number 8. 105 is Tales of the Titans number 2. Oof. 106 is Amazing Spider-Man 29. That's definitely a reprint. 107 is Night Terror's Punchline 2 of 2. That's not surprising. 108 is Alien number 5. 109 is Big Game number 2. And 110 is Moon Knight Annual number 1. Um, yeah, Tales of the Titans, that's still not bad, but why do we have these books? Why? I
Hmm.
don't understand. There's just no need. You already have a Titans book. People already have mixed feelings about the Titans as is.
You
Uh,
have
I,
two Titans books right now. Well, yeah, you didn't need a third.
yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. But other than that, yeah, Punchline hasn't been selling the best, and anyways, so I don't. That's not surprising to me. But yeah, nothing really here. Actually, Big Game. I don't know. Millar's been tooting his horn about that one a lot. I figured with Jimenez on the art, it would be a little higher, but 109 is not terrible. But yeah, but that's about it. What about you, AJ?
Millar's past his prime. I know some folks will get mad if you say that, but it is what it is. He's not that much of a draw anymore, especially how we've seen with his Netflix stuff lately. But
Yeah,
Jimenez it seems like his art is gonna have to carry his writers wherever he goes. It was a thing at DC. Now it's a thing at Image. So I guess that's just I'm gonna start calling that brother Atlas. You're holding the weight of these writers' careers on your shoulders, my guy.
yo, you know
Um,
what? Listen, I don't mean to deviate, but listen, somebody got to keep it a fat stack. Jimenez needs to be a little bit more picky about the books that he's on because
yes, he does.
ain't no way. This brother has been on some high profile titles, and the writing on the most of them has sucked. Justice
Hmm.
League was a fuzzled mess. Almost, I'm giving him credit for Joker War because I liked Joker War and I liked everything leading up to Joker War. I'm gonna give him credit there, but everything after that has been pure mid. I don't want to say dog shit, but pure mid. He needs to be better about picking projects.
Yeah, no, I agree. Um, what else? Only other thing I got for this section is, can we let the punchline experiment die now, guys?
Please.
Please. Um, she wasn't that interesting when Tynan introduced her. She had a little bit of motion in that first Joker series, but it was nothing to write home about. Like, can we just please let it in? For some reason, she's shown up in uh, the background of the Legion of Doom in a couple of places. Like, I
I don't
don't,
understand that.
I don't think DC knows what to do with it. DC doesn't know what to do with most of these tiny characters, honestly. We're getting to the point where, like I said, hey, these characters are gonna fade into obscurity as soon as Bro left. Well, it's happening before
Hmm.
our eyes, guys. Um, yeah, and not he did do some good ones. Ghostmaker, good character, but we see Batman Incorporated, so doesn't necessarily seem like he's got the staying power to keep folks coming for his stories. Vengeance, Bane's daughter, I think she's really interesting. She's also thick, as
Woo!
they say. But
Mm.
yeah, we
She can
haven't
step
really
on
seen
me.
her.
She can
Yeah, I
step
think
on me.
she
I'm not
popped
into
up in a
stepping, but she can step on me.
she stepped up in a place or two since that Joker series, but I mean, she's not really having any motion. Clown Hunter is just
There.
yeah, all right. Like yeah, guys, I think it's time to pull the plug on a lot of those characters. The ones that y'all were still trying to push, they're not sellers apparently. So
Mm-mm.
call a spade a spade. Let them go, bro.
Yeah. Honestly, same. I think they made a good effort. I don't. Yeah, they made a decent effort. But yeah, unless you have like a big name writer behind them, which a lot of these books don't at the moment, yeah, it's time to let it go. It's time. Like
Hmm
you did your due diligence. Just let it be. Let's move on to the 110s. We got Moon Knight Annual at 110. 111 is Danger Street number 8. 112 is Captain America Finale number 1. 113 is Marvel Age 1000. 114 is Night Terror's Ravager number 2. 115 is Night Terror's Black Adam number 2. 116 is Blade number 1. That's probably a reprint because, yeah, that Blade
Definitely
number
no, that's
1,
definitely a reprint
yeah, because
because
that
the
one's the
first
second
issue one
printing.
sold out. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, like not even, that shit sold out quick.
yeah.
Quick. Um, 117, Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest number 2. I don't know why this book was out here, even though Captain Marvel is literally about to get a new number 1.
Yes. And
118
then they did it
is,
right after her run ended. Like, just
yeah,
let her lead the Avengers right now. Y'all could have let it sit. It would have been fine.
would be fine. We got G Nort's Illustrated Swimsuit Edition, which is literally just another but thirst traps at 118. 119 is Wolverine 35, probably a reprint. 120 is King Spawn 25. Um, yeah, Night Terrors, Ravager, and Black Adam. I think Ravager is Ed Brisson did that, and Ed Brisson, sucks to say, but they keep giving him work, but he keeps taking work that really doesn't land him anywhere, which sucks.
And
I thought,
it's crazy. Like the Ravager one was good, but yeah, I mean, I think you got to pair Ravager off with some bigger name characters for her to
yeah,
really have any motion. She doesn't seem to, get stuff going when it's her on her own. Like in the Brave and the Bold stories that she's showing up in, she's great there. But when she's the lead, I don't think it's working for
yeah,
her.
like you need her with Deathstroke, or you need her with like somebody that already has like a higher stature, and she's just not it right
Mhm.
now. But again, that's no disrespect to Ed Brisson. I think Ed Brisson is a solid writer. I liked Deathstroke year one, even though
I
we
love
didn't
it.
need a Deathstroke year one, but I fucking enjoyed it. It was great.
Hmm
But yeah, Black Adam, I think people are just out of Black Adam with everything that
Yes,
happened
there.
with Priest.
You got to let him sit for about a year or so. I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's about it. What about you, AJ? Anything here?
Um, like I said, Ravager was really good, but yeah, I don't think she's big profile enough to headline a story on her own. Even though it is leading to something. I got to go back and read issue 2 to see where that's going to continue, but they are continuing that story.
Okay.
Um, Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest. Yeah, you didn't need that. She just ended a 50 issue run. You already know they're gonna do a run right before her movie shows up. Like,
Hmm.
just give her a couple months to breathe, guys. It would have been fine. It's not like she sells, but it's not like she's that much of a powerhouse seller to where
Yeah,
your line would have been hurt if you didn't have a Captain Marvel book for a few months. It's okay, guys.
exactly.
Let's see that Captain America finale. I didn't. Once I kind of found out that they were kind of just dicking us around on Captain America, and that was never going to be a run. It was kind of a buffed up mini, but not even a maxi. I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah,
So it is what it is. There, I'll read it all in collected edition at some point. Let's see here. Blade was heat, but then again,
fuck yeah.
most things Brian Hill writes is heat. Fuck it, no, I'll say all things Brian Hill writes are heat because y'all y'all crapped on him for Fallen Angels and ran him out of the X office. But look at how much dog shit we had to put up with
Mm.
until until recently with Fall of X, to where they got back to giving us some heat. But
And Cherry was
yeah,
also good. Y'all slept on that shit also. Cherry was fucking
absolutely.
dope.
I'm still waiting on the sequel to that.
For real.
Um, but yeah, y'all ran Hill out of that office when there were much worse writers than him
Mm.
in there at that time. But it is what it is. That swimsuit special, yeah, I mean, it was thirst traps and a bunch of nothing stories, but I do want to laugh at all the hubbub y'all made about Huntress because y'all just remembered that Huntress is supposed to be a white woman. You know, I know we had
Mhm.
New 52 and they made her Afro Italian for a brief period in time, but come on, guys. Helena Bertinelli. Helena Bertinelli has been around since I want to say '89. Yeah, it's '89 because that's the year I was born.
Mhm.
I think she's a couple months. She was introduced a couple months before my birthday. That's been a white woman for the most of her comic appearances. Like she's white. Get over it. I'm sorry to tell you. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of race swaps anyway, so it is what it is. But also, this just proves that y'all haven't been reading because Huntress
Mm.
was back to being white a long before this issue came out.
Mm.
Huntress
Talk that shit.
in tech, that was a white woman. I'm sorry to tell you. Huntress and shit, I'm forgetting the title now. But she been showing up in a few places. That was a white woman. That
Mm.
Secret Files, that was a white
Oh
woman.
yeah, that's right. Yep, yep, yep.
Huntress has not been black in some time, guys. Like they started phasing that out during the Rebirth era. It's another title I'm missing, but she was showing up in there too, and that was clearly a white woman. So yeah, I'm sorry, but y'all just got to take that L and move on, guys. It is what
Oh,
it is.
we got some comments real quick. Steph says seeing Blade all the way down here got me sad. No, Blade is fine. That's just a reprint, bro. It's just a reprint. Don't worry, you good. We good. Blade sold out quickly, quickly. So that's just that typically happens. It's like the previous month, but Blade came out in July. So I can go back and look up the July numbers. But Blade came out in July. It sold pretty well. It sold very well. It sold out. It's just a reprint that's lower. So you're fine. It's just the second printing. Second printing's it's rare that you'll see a second printing chart high, but we're good. We're good. Don't worry. And Soft Boy said, LOL, Helena Bertinelli should have never been race swapped in the first place. Plus, those stories are in continuity anyway.
I agree with she should have been race swapped, but
Most
also
of their
everything
stories
is
recently have
continuity.
been in continuity.
Yeah, everything is continuity now. So um,
Yeah.
it is what
Omniverse.
yeah, it is what it is. But like what was that? Grayson, Agent of Spiral or Spiral, whatever the agent, whatever the hell that, what was that? Agent
Grayson.
37 or some shit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she was black-ish in that, but so yeah, that's continuity that happened. But I mean, it is what it is. DC decided to say, hey, this is a white woman again, and folk just got to deal with it. It is what it is.
Is what it is. Let's move on. We got 121. We got Star Wars: The Mandalorian season 2, number 3. Loki, number 3 at 122. 123 is Avengers number 3, definitely a reprint. 124 is Blade number 2. Don't worry, that's a reprint. 125 is Star Wars: Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red number 4. 126 is Void Rivals number 2. 127 is Peacemaker Tries Too Hard number 4. 128 is TMNT Last Ronin Lost Day Special. 129 is Action Comics 1056. Night Terrors 1. What the fuck? I don't know what's happening here. 130
Uh,
is Heat Seeker Gun Series number 2 of 4. Yeah, I don't know what this is supposed to mean. I think because Action Comics wasn't even around last month, so I think they meant to say Action Comics Night Terrors. It's probably what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Um. But yeah, yeah, that's it for that bit, and we'll get to your comments. I see you got two right here, KJ. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blade #1 debuted at number 9, so it was in the top 10. So don't feel bad for it.
yeah, we good. Let's see here. Yeah, nothing too special to say here. All these books are the books that I'm reading are reprints that I see here, and yeah, it's really weird with that Action Comics one. But anything you're reading here, AJ, or no?
Uh, no, I read the Action Comics, Night Terrors. It was fine. Um, I haven't read the new Last Ronin special. Peacemaker tries hard. I fell off that a while ago, so I'll read it when it's all collected. But other than that, nope. Wait, I'm wrong. You said 136, right?
What?
No, I'm just looking at how far. What number did you get to?
No, 130. I got the 130.
Okay. Well, I'll come back later.
Yeah. I think that's about it for that section. Let's answer these comments real quick. People can be supporting Natasha Steele, other Black women characters instead of vouching for race swaps. Sad part is that non-Black people behind these types of decisions. Yo, talk that shit.
Yo, hey,
Talk.
fully agree, 100%.
Woo, woo. Talk that shit, please. Please, bro. Please. There's so many characters out there that could use that energy. So many. So many. But y'all want to talk about race swaps or y'all want to champion race swaps. Man, listen, don't even get me fucking started. Don't even get me fucking started. Don't even get me started. You said need a cop Blade #2. You love the first issue. At the minimum, I'll buy it. A trade paperback. Yeah, I think it'll definitely hit and trade. But if you can't support if you can support the floppy also, you please do. But I get it. Trade waiting. That's the avenue for some people. You're still supporting, so we still appreciate it. Um, yeah, and South Boy agreed. Especially exactly, Steelworks has been fucking heat. Yeah, we'll hopefully we get to Steelworks soon. But let's move on to the 131. Moon Knight, City of the Dead at 131. 132 is Night Terrors Titans #1. 133 is What If Dark Spider Gwen #1. 134 is Harley Quinn Black, White, and Redder #2. 135 is Deadpool Battered Blood #3. 136 is Night Terrors Angel Breaker 2 of 2. 137 is Star Wars Bounty Hunters 37. 138 is Red Goblin #7. 139 is Hawk Girl 2 out of 6. Lord have mercy. 140 is Night Terrors Batman 1 of 2, probably a reprint. All right, AJ, what you think?
Well, Hawk Girl, that's which, and no, I was wrong about Hawk Girl. It debuted at 77, so that's already not great for #1. But then for the issue 2 to be at 139, yeah, okay, it makes sense that's not getting extended. And I'm full disclosure, I've been liking Hawk Girl. Issue 1 I thought was pretty good. Issue 2 I had problems with. 3, which came out today, was mostly fine. Like I said, um, certain writers are just never going to escape the writing for Twitter allegations, and I'll leave it at that since that issue just came out today. I don't want to spoil folks, but there's a page you'll know what I'm talking about if you read it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm at this point I'm just here to see a thick and muscular Kendra. So that's it. Anything else? All right, whatever. Um, yeah, but
Oh man.
like I saw when the solicits came out, I was like, yeah, and I was reading it. I'm like, yeah, that book's not getting extended, and
Mm-mm.
yeah, these numbers further confirm that.
No.
It is what it is. I still maintain that um, had the book been an actual had the focus been on Hawk Girl more than what it is, not that she's not the main character in this book, but you have a writer who clearly wanted to backdoor their OC that they created because the Galaxy character That was for she did a
Wasn't that
comic
like
for
a young adult graphic novel or some
yeah,
shit?
yeah, like one of those. And then she asked DC, "Hey, can we put her in the main thing?" And they were like, "Well, yeah, sure. You do a Hawk Girl book for her." So I guess she combined the two, which is fine. You know, I haven't. The character is fine. I just wish the focus was more so on Hawk Girl than what it's been. You know, she's not a character that gets a ton of books or gets a ton of time to shine. So I think she should have been the main focus instead of having to split the focus between her galaxy and her villain because it's a new villain. So yeah, that character has to have time for their motivations and their wants and desires. So it's I'm enjoying the book, but it's getting hard to keep defending some things that some directions that it's going. Um, yeah,
Oh
maybe it'll read
man.
better in trade. Who knows? But yeah, buff, thick woman. This is what I'm here for at this point. Um, yeah, read issue 3. You guys will know what I'm talking about when you see it. That's all I'll say.
Oh man. Oof. All right. Is that it for this section?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not. I checked out after issue 1. I was like, you know what? No. Here's the thing. I will take accountability. I will take accountability here because I saw the panel about like BLM and all that stuff. I didn't
Yeah,
know Homegirl's history with that. I didn't know. So I thought this was, some writer for Twitter bullshit. Come to find out it was not. So I eased up on issue
the
1.
history is fine. It didn't make sense timeline wise.
Yeah, because it's like because she was also one of the folk that was allegedly dead. So you telling me from the time Dark Crisis finished to issue number 1, you did all that shit.
Not even just that. Okay, look at it. Right, we
Uh-huh.
know the Black Lives Matter protests when they really kicked off. That was 2020. You had a smattering of them here and there for a few years before that. But when the Black Lives Matter, the movement really kicked off that summer, it was 2020. It was the summer of COVID. Okay. We know
Mm-hmm.
like that is a specific moment in time. Once you put that in your work,
Yeah.
you are saying that your work takes place in a specific moment in time. So that's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be 3 years ago, right?
Yep.
When did Kendra have time to do any of this? First off, you're telling me she was in college. I don't know if any of y'all did you read Dark Knight's Metal? She had a pretty involved role in Dark Knight's Metal, so she couldn't have been doing it there.
And then she
Um,
was in Bendis' Justice League.
Thank yes, Justice League. Um, she was in Justice League, Dark Knight's Metal, Death Metal. She wasn't huge in Death Metal, but she was there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when they had the what was it when Carter when Hawkman was turned he what was that Year of the Villain or something? No, not Year of the Villain. It was something,
It
but
would
something
no,
happened
You're
with
the
Dark
Villain
Hawkman.
happened.
She
Yeah, that
what's
that that
that?
was You're the Villain. Yeah.
Okay, that was Year of the Villain. So she's involved with that. Of course, Cher was there too. So she wasn't again not huge in that, but she was there. Um, like we say, Death Metal. Then you get the shit with the Justice League that just happened where they were dead. Dark Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
When is she supposed to have been in college? When is she supposed to have been going to protest? When? Tell me, please. And like I said, I for the most part like the book. I'm a defender of the book. I think some of the complaints are bullshit and borderline, if not downright bigotry, because the writer is a trans woman. But still, when is this supposed to have happened?
Ah,
You
bro,
can't just
bro, the omniverse, everything happened.
bro, you can't. That is what if you're gonna make her an activist, cool, fine. Do not make her attend protests that have a connotation of a specific moment in time. Everybody knows when the Black Lives Matter protests were happening. We watched. If first off, I'm in Atlanta. I'm in one of the major cities where that shit was happening. I couldn't get on the expressway to go home. Shit was on fire. You you cannot say that at a specific moment in time when your characters have histories this long.
Hey, Hot
When
Girl
is
was
this
the reason
supposed to have
why.
happened?
Hey, she was the reason why I couldn't get home. She was right there in the front, brother. She was the hey, listen, hey, bro, listen.
Like
What can you
it
tell
does
me?
not make sense to me, bro.
My brother, they said everything mattered, everything happened. What can you saying they wrong? You saying they wrong?
No, I'm not. Oh Lord, it is just confusing, man.
No, I hear you. Honestly, bro, they could have just put if they just got rid of the BLM, and I'm not just saying that, because I mean I have my issues with BLM, but if they just put anything else, like I don't know, if she just had like put something else there instead of BLM, it would have been fine. Because at least then we can at least try to piece it
Yes,
somewhere in
bro,
the
bro.
timeline.
Like the same thing with the milestone stuff. It's like you're making this a specific moment in time when
Mm,
I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. At least make it make sense. This one
yeah,
doesn't.
it doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense. That shit. I was like, yeah. Once I saw what you were talking, I was like, oh, yeah, this doesn't make sense at all. But hey, man, they got that caveat. They can say anything happened whenever because of the omniverse thing, which I low key think they're ditching. But yeah, man, it is. Let's answer some of these comments real quick. Sawbush said that Hot Girl book is more about the OC than Kendra herself. I hope Kendra gets
Yes,
a
it
new
is.
creative team. Yep, it sounds like I only read issue one. Maybe I'll read it on DC Universe. Let's see here. There's another good thing. Yeah, KJ said I liked her OC book, by the way. True, but I want other creatives working on it. Yeah, I think just Hawkman just needs. I mean, excuse me, Hawk Girl just needs a new creative team.
But see, the
Honestly,
thing is, the Hawks don't get books that often. Like, so
yeah.
after this, you're probably 3 to 5 years before. Like look how long it took us to get that Vendetti Hawkman book, and that shit
Oh,
was flames. But because not enough people read it, because the Hawks are confusing, and because they barely get material on their own, it didn't sell great. Even though the book itself was good, so that ended. I got to look back. I can't remember what year it ended, but it's been a while,
20.
and now Kendra doesn't get anything till
Yeah,
2013, and this
yeah.
is the last thing that people are going to be left with until the next one. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a long time.
Yeah, because the last Hawkman book ended in it ended either in 2019 or 2020. Because remember there was those big wave of books that just got axed. It was 2020. I
Yes,
remember. Yeah, end of 2020. Yep, I remember. I remember. Let's see here. Oh, we could have a comment here. We'll circle back to this. This is important. Hey, Earth M ain't for me. I get it, but I'm a huge Milestone fan. It's personal for me because I have gotten in contact with Michael Davis and the OG Static stories tied to his life. Yo, let's see if we see any of those Milestone books here when we go through it, because I do have some
we haven't yet.
commentary
So
on that. And the soft boy said, yeah, it's odd how she been to BLM in 2013, but the flashbacks were a few years ago. Also, I'm from Charleston, so I found it odd as fuck too. It's those are very specific points in history. Very. But yeah, like I said, all they had to do is just take out BLM. It could be, yes, you have time to do it, because once you put that certain things in the books, automatically people are gonna start thinking, oh damn, she was here at this point. But we have all the evidence there. She went from Metal to Snyder's Justice League, and then um Death Metal, then to
mhm.
Bendis's Justice League, and then she died. Well, she got transported to her own world. But yeah, so it's weird. Um, so let's move on to 140, because there's some books we got to look out for now. So Night Terror's Batman, that's probably a reprint. Unstoppable Doom Patrol 5 of 7. Night Terror's Harley Quinn #1. Marvel's Voices X-Men #1. 144 Black Panther #3. I have commentary on that. That's an asterisk. 145 Disney Villain Hades #1. 146 is I Hate Fairyland #8. 147 is Silk #4. 148 is
Oh
Void
my
of
girl,
Rivals
Silk.
#1. 149 is Riddler Year 1 #6, and 150 is Ghost Rider 16. So I want to make commentary on Black Panther because he was my thumbnail, but I changed it because the Gotham War is more it's more current to the SEO. So I like this new Black Panther run, but I think we can all understand why Black Panther is so low so early in the run. I think people are fatigued with Black Panther because when we first started doing this, Ridley's Black Panther, despite how bad it was always in within the top 50 to 100 percentile. And then and even when it dipped a little bit, it still hovered a little below the 100. So it was still a well performing book. I think that a reputable damage Ridley did translated to this new run. And then also, people also have an option now because they can read Jed McKay's Avengers, which technically continues that story. It's just at a smaller scale. I think there's a lot of damage done to Black Panther, and I think what Marvel should have done was let Black Panther rest. I think they were too quick to put out a new Black Panther run. That's not to put dirt on I believe her name is Ewing. That's
Yeah,
not to put dirt on her name, but I think the timing couldn't have been worse. The story works. Black Panther's more small scale, is more of a community man. And even though I'm not a big fan of like the current pacing of the issue, it's still good. But I think they dug themselves in a hole by putting this out way too soon after Ridley's run. What are your thoughts, AJ?
I think, like I told you on Twitter a few days ago, I do not think you can continue to disrespect your first and most high-profile black superhero in multiple mediums, and then be surprised when his book doesn't sell well. Um, there has been a concerted effort to de-emphasize T'Challa across all of Marvel Entertainment. We know about the film. I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to relitigate that. It is what it is. They've made their decision. Cool, fine. Um, then you need to be showcasing him and highlighting him in other avenues. And it feels like they're doing the opposite. You mentioned Ridley's run. Ridley's run is started out decent enough. Around I dropped it around issue 6, but around issue 4 is when it just started going downhill, and John Ridley started being John Ridley. We
Mm,
saw it over at DC with Jace Fox. It is what it is. Really, like I don't know, man. I think really got some internal issues he needs to work out instead of
yeah.
doing it with characters that are owned by corporations. Um, so that we have multiple T'Challas showing up in video games. Let's see, the Avengers game, yeah, which is dead. RIP to that game. But we decided, oh yeah, hey, he's not gonna be on the throne anymore. He's not gonna be king. It's fine, whatever. Um, the Avengers and Captain America game that's being made, yeah, it's not gonna be T'Challa. It's gonna be Azuri. Okay, fine. Azuri's cool enough, but what it is what it is. The solo T'Challa game, it's sounding like it's gonna be a create your own character. Um, the solo Black Panther game, excuse me, is gonna be a create your own character and not a T'Challa uh focused game. So, and then you have Ridley's run. Um, that's a lot of baggage for Eve Ewing to walk into. It is what it is. I'm sorry for it. I've liked Ewing's work before. I think she turned Ironheart into an actual character when Bendis was just being Bendis when he created her. So Eve Ewing can write. She does good work. I'm appreciative of her. But hey, I'm not surprised that her run isn't doing well. And I hate to say it because the Marvel will use it as an excuse to say, "Oh, make it a stealth mini." I would not be surprised at this point if that's what happens. Ta-Nehisi Coates, I know some people had issues with his run at times. I was a fan of it both parts. The intergalactic empire of Wakanda, maybe a
Hmm.
little bit less than the first run, I should say. But yeah, I was with it. I'm a fan. But since they started messing with his run at the end, that was when the death of Chadwick was still fresh, and they didn't know how to maneuver
Mm,
around with the Black Panther character, and they haven't gotten it right since. So it is what it is. I'm not surprised to see it's that is this low. I think after Ewing's run ends, whether it comes to natural conclusion or she's forced to wrap it up, um, I think
Let
they
her
need
retire, man.
to.
Not retire, but
What's
let her
that?
rest. Let her rest.
Yeah, they got to. I think they need to figure out what they're going to do with T'Challa moving forward. You cannot continue. People are clamoring for the character of T'Challa. If you're not going to give him to him in the movies, if you're not going to respect him in the films, okay, you need to respect him in other places. And
Yes.
until y'all can figure out how to do that, I think, hey man, let him ride, let him be in Avengers for a while. But his main book needs to just sit on the shelf for a bit. I
Yeah.
hate to say it because we already don't have enough black led books. We don't have enough of black male led books who are,
Hmm.
you know, allowed to hold a position of power and a position of authority, but without falling into a lot of stereotypes that people try to shove black men into. We don't get a lot of that. So, T'Challa has been the one avenue where we can have that. But hey, it's not working out for him right now. So yeah, I would just sit him down for a bit.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for Black Panther on the 147. My girl Silk, this what have they done to you? Um, y'all
I don't
have
mean to laugh, but
continued. What's that?
I don't mean to laugh, but damn.
Yeah. Nah, you good, man. It's self inflicted wounds, man. They've had this one story they wanted to tell with Silk, and instead of just giving her an ongoing, they have continued it across three minis over
Yo.
like 4 years now. Like it's been 18 issues. You could just put 15 issues. You couldn't just put 15 issues out consecutively. You have broken this thing up over 3 or 4 years, and yet you wonder why the numbers are so low. Like come on, guys. Like it's not that hard. You all already don't have a female spider
Mm-hmm.
like coming out on a consistent basis. Because Gwen, yeah, we see her a lot, but pretty much everything Gwen is getting is minis. Like
Yep.
give one of your girls an ongoing. You had the Jessica Drew ongoing and it was great, but then you canceled it. You're giving her a mini like every year and a half to continue one story, and Gwen is just your multiverse character at this point. Like, come on, guys, figure out what you're gonna do with one of the female spider people. But other than, I don't have anything else for this section. It's just those two were sticking out like a sore thumb for me.
Yeah, KJ said, I think Ewing may have inherited a mess and is doing the best she can. I find it weird that Marvel seems to be diminishing T'Challa, in my honest opinion. RP to Chad, but how many times do characters come back? Um, yeah, this is a good comment. Um, yeah, I think Chadwick, excuse me, not Chad. I think T'Challa can have a good comeback. Um, but first of all, I mean, we got it. We have to see how Ewing's run turns out. I do fear, since it's this early in the run and the numbers aren't doing so hot, this may just end up being a miniseries. And I think if they are gonna bring T'Challa back, it it gotta be somebody like a Hill. You know what I'm saying? I could easily see a scenario because where Hill is picking up
Yeah, I
steam
loved his
again.
one shot on him.
Yo, I could see a scenario where people are picking up steam, with Hill again, and he says, "Fuck it, let me give him a Black Panther mini." And yo, listen, if it's one thing Hill is good at, is teaming up with some amazing artists. Can you imagine a Black Panther run with Brian Hill and the caliber of art that they got on Blade, Batman and Outsiders? I guarantee you that book is gonna sell like hotcakes. But first, we need to let the character rest. So if we need to let him cook with the Avengers, that's fine. Because listen, I'm enjoying what McKay is doing a little more than I'm enjoying what's happening in the ongoing. Like I said, the ongoing is not bad, but I think it's just a better story over there. But I think we need to let him rest first and put him with a good creative. And honestly, at this point, I'll say it, I don't give a fuck if the writer's black. As long as it's somebody that can respect the history and respect the character and their big name, let's fucking do it. I would prefer Brian Hill. I'll prefer Hill. But If it's somebody else that can really put something solid together after letting him rest, I'm not mad at that either. Um, we got one more comment. Oh yeah, Soft Boy answered you. He said, "Did the same thing with Spider Gwen? Just give them an ongoing." And T'Challa said, "Characters are bigger than one actor." That's very true. That's very true. At first I was a little skeptical about the talk about they're diminishing T'Challa because of Chadwick, but I think the evidence speaks for itself at this point. I see the signs. I don't like the signs, but I see the signs. Um, and yeah, um, Panther does need a break. Release one was very recent. Yeah,
Hmm.
agreed, agreed. Um, let's move on to 150. We got Ghost Rider 16. We got 151 Daredevil and Echo number 4. We got 152 Plot Holes number 1. 53. 153 is Night Terrors number 1. That's definitely a reprint. 154 is TMNT Stranger Things number 2. 155 is Alice Never After number 1. 156 is Night Terrors Nightwing number 1, probably a reprint. 157 is Batman Beyond Neo Gothic number 2. 158 is Gargoyles Dark Ages number 2. 159 is Marvel Unleashed number 1, and 160 is Grim 12. Yeah, not reading any of this. I do find it very bizarre that they decided to do a Daredevil book, well, a Daredevil mini at the same time as the Daredevil ongoing, and it's not
Nah,
even
that's
Matt.
that's because
It's
that's because Echo was supposed to be getting ready to start on Disney Plus. Remember that? That's why Daredevil and Echo.
oh
Yep,
yeah, that's
they
right.
delayed the show, but that was supposed to be coming out in like November.
Mm, okay, that makes sense then. But other than that, yeah, not really reading. That Batman Beyond book shot down though. What the fuck?
Hmm.
That that got to be a reprint, cause ain't no
Yeah,
way. Ain't
yeah,
ain't no
I might
way.
look that up, but that's
Hold on, that can't be right. That came out in July. Oh, that came out in July.
okay.
That might be a What was that? Number two. Number two. Okay, and then let's see here. Number two. When did that
Well,
come out?
number one was at 123 in
Yee!
July. Let's see, number yeah, that's not a reprint. That's a
Oh fuck.
well,
Ooh boy, but it's Batman Beyond, so I guess, but damn. Okay. All right. That's not. I guess it makes sense. But yeah, other than that, yeah. Anything you're reading over here, AJ?
not at all. I think I read the first issue of that Batman Beyond. I didn't read number two. That's another thing, another one like Silk, where they're telling the same story over many years apart. I think it's about what the third Batman Beyond mini at this point. Yeah,
No,
just
second. I think it's second.
okay. This
Yeah.
damn, it feels like the third. Um, yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, duty starts and stops with these characters. After a while, people are just gonna get tired of it and they'll buy the trade when it comes out if they're interested. But yeah, you can't keep doing that with folks. But other than that, nah, not reading anything here.
Okay. Cool. So we got 161 Conan the Barbarian number 2. It's probably a reprint. 162 TMNT Splintered Fate. 163 Catwoman Uncovered. 164 She-Hulk 15. 165 TMNT 142. 166 is Wildcats number 10. 167 is Godzilla Here There Be Dragons number 2. 168 is World Tree number 4. 169 is Same Universe Special. 170 is Storm number 4. I think I went last, so AJ, anything here? Oh, AJ might have had to step away for a hot second, so I'll take over. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not reading.
my fault.
Oh, go ahead,
I
bro. Go
didn't
ahead, bro.
realize I was still on mute. Um,
Mike.
yeah, She-Hulk 15. Not that 15 did great, but that is a reprint. Because Marvel, in their infinite wisdom, what do? They decide, oh yeah, we're gonna end the book, but we're gonna relaunch it with the exact same creative team. So that's what's happening with She-Hulk. So come back for number one in 2 weeks, got in well 2 months, guys. That continues the exact same story. that we were already telling, but we want to boost our numbers. Lord have mercy. And these
God.
folks are supposed to be in charge of the comics industry. Okay. Um, Other than that, TMNT 142. Yeah, I guess it seemed like I remember that book being a little higher when we've done this list before, but uh, excuse me. Seems like Wildcats is continuing to slip, so that sucks. But other than that, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I feel like Wildcats is like a sleeper hit from what the streets are saying. We got one homie on the timeline. I forget his name. Okay, it's not coming to me right now, but that nigga swears by Wildcats, and a couple other people do too. So there's something there. I just need to catch
Yeah,
on.
it's a decent read. I've read the first few issues. It's pretty good.
So I'll check that out at some point. But yeah, Storm number 4. Yeah, Storm and Magneto. Why? 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 They don't need.
Yeah.
They didn't need books right now. We all know the X-Men is going to do some big relaunch. We just got that news that something big is happening coming out of
They about to pump fake y'all again, just like they pump faked us with all of X. Even though it got everybody back, everybody keep thinking, "Oh, the X-Men, they're gonna go back to their status quo." No, they're not, guys.
bro.
Look how many goddamn X-Men titles have been on this list this month, bro. Them people are raking in the money on those titles.
Listen, I swear, if I hear motherfuckers say they want X-Men to go back to the fucking mansion, enough, enough, enough,
They had
enough.
they weren't even at. All right, like the mansion is old news at this point, guys. Like you
Let's
might get these stories set in the past, like they're doing with Storm, and I haven't read Magneto. I read the first issue of Storm, so Magneto, I'm not sure how that's doing. I think it's in the past as well. You might get those vibes from a couple of one shots. Like they've got a one shot with the original five coming up. But yeah, guys, the school days are mostly over with. You'll see some stuff. They'll pop over to the school every now and then from Krakoa, like they were doing that in the beginning of the Krakoa era. But I think that's about the best you can hope for.
Yeah, I think honestly with the I think despite the issues with Krakoa, it's a good status quo. It's a
Hmm.
good status quo reset, and like them being on their own planet, that's nice. You can still like obviously something big is gonna happen, but I don't want them to go back to the mansion because that seems like such a step down. That's like it's almost as if um it's like Red Hood fucking around with Batman again. That's so done. You see what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
Krakoa to me is like Alfred staying dead. Like there's so much good that's coming out of that hard status quo limit. You know what I'm saying I'm tired of that take. I'm tired of that take.
Hmm.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we keep getting these OG X-Men titles that's set in the past. Just that's so they can satisfy the people that want the mansion. If you want that, go
Hmm.
read those. Go read it. But as for putting the X-Men back in putting them back in the mansion in fucking 2024, the fuck out of here, please. Um, we got a comment here. KJ said Wildcats is good, but not something I'm crazy over. Still in my pool, I'm keeping it. I've read Waller, Wildstorm, and like that also. I have Waller Wildstorm in my pool folder. I gotta go pick that up. Um, and also said I've heard that Sabretooth bang, but outside of that, I'm cool off X titles. It's overwhelming to me. Let me just complain about Storm's hairstyle and X-Men 97 in peace. It's all good, brother. It's all good. It's all good. Uh, let's move on to 171. Yo, one of the greatest Superman titles out right now that should be a top 50 book.
Hmm.
Steelworks number 3. 172. We'll get to Steelworks, don't worry. 172 is what Werewolf by Night. 173 is Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 2. 174 is Something is Killing the Children 31. 175 is Incredible Hulk number 1. 176 is Batman Beyond Neo Gothic number 1. Oh, so maybe we don't have to worry about that book. Maybe it's a small print run because yeah, that's number 1. Okay. 177 Night Terror Superman 101. 178 is Invincible Iron Man number 8. 179 is Multiversity Hardly Schools Up to DCU, and 180 is Warlock Rebirth number 5. I'm gonna make a video about Steelworks. But while I have you motherfuckers here right now, I'm going to preach the gospel of Steelworks.
Go for it, brother.
This is by far a top 5 DC book right now, month in, month out. I think his name Michael. Is it Michael Dorn?
Yeah.
Yo, that motherfucker is spitting on that book. It's simple but very. It's simple, but it ain't doing too much. But it's also doing right by the character. Like it's tying into everything that's happening with Action Comics and War World, but it's giving it its own story. You can tell that John Henry Adams and Natasha Irons, they have focus. They got focus. It's a great story. You can tell you can tell that he cares about these characters, and he cares about the Superman world in general. And also, like, I'm gonna say it here too, it's a black character that doesn't fall into them bullshit ass black tropes, bro. That's my biggest thing
Hmm.
with it. Like, bro, this is I hate to be one of the motherfuckers that uses that term, but this is the one and only time I will use it. This is a black fucking excellence right here, right? Listen, if you are not reading Steelworks, whether you are black or whether you are actually, if you are black and you're not reading Steelworks, you're not supporting Steelworks, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on fucking you. You don't need to know anything to get into Steelworks. Just pick up Steelworks. You all set. Shame on you. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're a Superman fan or not, you need to be fucking picking up Steelworks. I stand by that book month in, month out. That book is fucking heat. That book is fucking heat. And I can tell you right now, I see a scenario where Steelworks gets put on for ongoing. I see it. I think DC is paying attention to the reception Steelworks is getting, and they're not gonna let Homeboy stay by the wayside after this miniseries is over. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's my preaching. AJ, take it over.
Agreed on Steelworks. I'm not caught up. I got the first issue, read it. I said, hey, let me add this to my pool. So I'm getting it. I got so much to catch up on reading. But yeah, nah, one was great. Uh, it definitely deserves an ongoing. I do wonder, with the numbers being what they are, if they'll give it one, because, like I said, we see Hawk Girls likely not getting extended. It's not by much, but it is selling better than this. Man, I want the Irons family to prosper everywhere they can, dog. So,
Yes.
like, if I would love it if it gets extended. I hope it does. Um, I already have my problems with DC and how they treat their black characters, and the lack of attention they tend to get. So they're trying to do right by Steelworks. I want to get more support for that book if we can. I tend to buy multiple copies of books that I really believe in. It's no different with that, but there's only so much that individuals can do. The publisher has to take a leap of faith on it. I think this book absolutely deserves it.
Yes.
So we'll see what comes out of it, but knock on wood that we get extended. Um, okay, Neo Gothic, like you said, if number one is down here, maybe it's not all bad. Maybe small print run or reprints. Who knows? Uh, whoa, something that is killing it. That's got to be a reprint. No way, that's that
Yeah,
low.
it probably is. It's never that low.
Yeah. Other than that, Night Terror Superman. That's also gonna be a reprint. Yeah, nothing else. I'm not really checking anything else out from here.
Sophomore said, while Steelworks is that low, I was hoping this would get extended. It's my favorite of the dawn of DC titles I pull. Yeah, I if it doesn't get an ongoing, which I hope it does, I would at least like an extension. I think Dorn deserves another like 5 or 6 issues to continue telling the story.
Hmm.
But also, who knows? Maybe like the 6 issues that we're getting, that's enough of a story for him to tell. But even so, I think it's fucking great. But I do hope, DC really listens. This is the one time I'm begging them to listen. I know the numbers are low, and there's probably a lot of reasons. You know, we haven't seen that side of the DC universe in a while.
Hmm.
Natasha Irons has been around for a while. They took her from Titans, put her on the Authority, and then now Steelworks. So they've been consistent with her, but we haven't seen John Henry Irons in a while. So I really hope, man. I really hope they're listening and come, if there's any book I'm begging for an extension for, please, bro, please, Steelworks. Um, but yeah, I think that's about it. And yeah, KJ, it's all good, bro. If you can hunt down issue number 1, hunt down issue number 2, so you can be caught up. It's really good on the month to month. But I'm sure it'll hit better in trade. But I'm telling you, on the month to month, it's good. It's good. Um, let's move on to 181. We got The Walking Dead Deluxe 68. 182 is Sonic the Hedgehog 63. We got 183 Incredible Hulk 181. Fast Mile Edition 184 is Giant Size X-Men number 1. 185 is Omega Man number 3. Fast Mile. 186 is Spawn Scorched 20. Wait, did I feel like I didn't miss anything here? Okay, yeah. 186 is a Spawn Scorched 20. 187 is Deadpool number 9. 188 is Alice Never After number 2. 189 is Superboy the Man of Tomorrow. 190 is Gunslinger Spawn number 22. I am not the biggest fan of Superboy, well, at least that iteration of Superboy. I will go down saying the best Superboy that I've seen, in my opinion, is the nigga that was running around pretending he was Superboy, aka Match. Hey, bro. I forget his name. Robbie Thompson. That nigga had me fooled. That nigga had me fooled. Yo. 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 That nigga had me fooled, bro. But that was a good Superboy. I wasn't the biggest fan of this other Connor. But hey, the streets are saying this Superboy book is good. So I will put my bias aside, even though I am hoping for a match ongoing.
Oh my goodness, brother. No.
Even though, hey, Robbie Thompson, if you're hearing this, my nigga, I need match back, bro. I need match back. But all jokes aside, I will be checking out this Superboy run when it's done, because I heard a lot of good things about it. But other than that, I haven't read anything from here. What about you, AJ?
I haven't either, and yeah, I've heard Superboy is good, but yeah, DC. I doubt. I will not be surprised if they don't do another round robin again, because that number is low. But
Yeah.
hopefully, we got one issue left. Hopefully, folks show up for that last issue for it. But yeah, I'm not terribly surprised at it. Especially, they had just had that bad Dark Crisis Young Justice tie-in.
Woo!
Might have soured the well a little bit.
Oh, boy, why'd you have to remind me? Oh my God. Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Yeah, it was bad, bro.
God. Oh God. Yuck. Batman Brave and the Bold number 3. Yo, do me a favor, my brother. Look up when that came out, because ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah. Now we've already seen a Brave and the Bold on this list. I'm pretty sure.
So
But
you
yeah,
gotta be a
give me a
reprint.
sec.
Okay. I'll keep doing the list. 192 is Disney Villains and
Yeah,
Maleficent number
number
4.
3 came out in July. It was number 53.
Okay, all right, we good. 192 is Disney Villains Maleficent number 4. 193 is Moon Knight 25. That's probably a reprint. 194 is Spawn Scorched 21. 195 is Spirit War number 4. Let's put an asterisk there. 196 is TMNT versus Street Fighter. 197 is Godzilla War for Humanity. 198 is Madness number 1. 199 is MMPR 30th Anniversary Special. And 200 is The Walking Dead Deluxe. Hey, I'm gonna take the time now to plug in the Spirit World books. Not Spirit World. We Are Legends. Yo, them We Are Legend books have got to be some of the best fucking books to come out of DC in the longest time. Yo,
bro, Vigil is heat, bro.
Bro, I'm letting Vigil stack. I'm collecting on the month to month.
Oh my God, bro, you got to get into it. Oh my goodness.
Yo, fucking Spirit World is heat on the month to month.
Hmm.
Streets is saying
I,
Vigil is dope, and they telling me
I,
City Boy is dope too.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Until Spirit World and that backup today in Nightwing, bro, I had forgotten what it was like to have good Cassandra Cain written. Like it's been
Woo!
since Hill we hadn't had any, and that's been like what 2 3 years at this point. So it's been nice. Like I said, if DC is deciding to do a Batgirl solo with Batgirls with a solo writer instead of a duo writing team, if that's the direction they want to take, I'm all with it. And yeah, she's dope in Spirit World too. So hey man, yeah, they got a good direction on their hands with that We Are Legend stuff.
Yo,
City Boy, I read the first 2 issues. I decided to let the rest stack. I think to me that was the weaker of the three. Other people really
same.
like it, but yeah, it's it's a still decent enough read. So I'm just gonna let it get all the issues out and then I'll finish it up. But yeah, the We Are Legends stuff that's a way to do a good initiative to introduce some diversity, put some good writers on stuff, good
Yo,
artists, and let them cook. That's the perfect example of how to do it.
for real. Like honestly, I don't know if any of them will. I don't know if any of them will get an extension. I would like that, but
Yeah.
I want to see Xanth in the DC universe. I want to see the
Hmm.
visual. Yo, I could easily see an avenue where Amanda Waller sweeps up the motherfuckers from the Vigil and throws them into the DC. Dude, the landscape is ripe for the Vigil right now,
Hmm.
and the landscape is ripe for Xanth because we need more of the magic side, and we need more of the
Yes.
espionage side in DC too. A City Boy, we could throw him anywhere. I can see the landscape is right for him too. I need DC to invest some more in this. Like, bro, it's ridiculous how good those books are. It's
Hmm.
ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. Um, let's see, MMPR, the 30th anniversary special. Yo, I think this came out towards the end of the month, but yo, listen, for my Power Rangers people and even the people on my channel, I have a lot of Power Rangers fans because those seem to be the videos that
Hmm.
are performing the best. Hey, do yourself a favor, pick up that 30th anniversary special. Do yourself a favor. You don't. A lot of those stories take place in the main Power Rangers continuity, not the comic books. But listen, those stories are full of heart. The creative teams behind them, they care for the characters. You may tear up a little, you may root, but this special was well needed, especially after we lost JDF. We Power Rangers is ending. Power Rangers is officially over at once as of 2 weeks, a week from now, because this is the last season that's coming out. So I think this was a great time for this to come out.
Wait,
I
what?
have
Power Rangers is over? Over? Really,
It's over, brother. It's done.
brother? I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, it's done. There's a reboot that's supposed to be happening, but it's supposed to be coming out. It's supposed to be getting the ball rolling in 2024, but with the
Is that like the
strike,
Netflix thing or something?
yeah.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
strike, we don't know when that's
Yeah.
gonna happen. But the mainline Power Rangers, the Power Rangers as we know it, it's done. It's over.
Wow.
Cosmic Fury is the last Power Rangers season in that 30-year timeline. So we got the once and always Netflix special, which was pretty solid. We got the 30th anniversary special, which is this. This was great. And yeah, it was really good. If you haven't read it, AJ, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm
I,
super behind on all my Power Rangers comics. I've been stacking them in trades, but
you don't even
damn,
need
and that if I what's that?
you don't even need to read those comics. This is taking place. Those stories take place in the main timeline.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I'll check it out because damn, finding out Power Rangers is it. Excuse me, is damn,
oh
it's
bless you.
ending. That kind of threw me for a loop, bro.
Yeah. It's
Like I
over,
like
bro.
I'm like I'm not as big into it still as you. That was I kind of let it go after around what was that maybe Turbo Zeal. I can't remember which one came first, but yeah, damn. I guess I never really thought they would end. That kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop.
Yep, it's over. But yeah, so if you guys haven't read that, please go read it. I picked up 2 copies, and y'all know me, man. I don't buy doubles or triples of anything, but I bought 2 of them shits, bro. Um,
Hmm.
but let me answer some of these comments real quick. Superboy, Softboy says Superboy was a skip for me. Action comics was good enough for me for all super characters. That's fair enough. That's super fair. That's how I feel. The only Superman character that I care to follow outside of action is fucking Kara. Like, yo, I want to say this right now, bro. I am here for Mariko Tamaki back on Kara. I am
Hmm.
here. Please, God. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I've been looking for Mariko Tamaki content since Detective, and oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sawboy also said, I've been reading City Boy, Trade Waiting Vigil, and Skipping Spirit World. I tried that book, but Cass and Xanth aren't my cup of tea character wise. Hey, I don't blame you. Not every character's for everybody, but I fucking love that shit. Maybe it might hit for you in trade, so I highly recommend it. And KJ said I have 2. I have 3 in my pool. Forget which ones. I've brought all 3 digital, just a little bit behind. This is all good. And KJ said, is the 30 something I could jump into? Do I have to prep Batman style for the one shot? No. If you've watched MMPR, like the TV show Mighty Morphin, and probably some of the other seasons as well after, honestly, you're fine with Mighty Morphin. If you watch Mighty Morphin, you're fine because those stories take place in the TV timeline, not the comic book timeline. So yeah, I highly recommend it. So you don't got to do no prep. Just buy it. Um, but yeah, AJ, you have anything else here for this list?
Nah, not at all, man.
All right, word. So it is getting late. But yeah, that is the top 200, y'all. For everybody that was in the comments, thank you so much for the activity. We appreciate it. I love it when you guys are active in the comments. And for everybody who's going to be watching on the replay, let me know what your comments are down below. What titles surprised you ranking wise. What disappointed you. I want to hear about it all down below in the comments. And AJ, I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and plug yourself. I'm going to throw up your Twitter right here. Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours.
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Mr_Mitchell_ the number 2_ the letter U. I'm there giving hot takes, not as much as I used to be. Stuff's gotten a little hectic lately, so can't be on as much as I would have liked, especially if finding out that brother's about to potentially start charging. It ain't the fact that he's charging. I can't bring myself to put my payment information in on Twitter, so I don't know. Y'all might have to find me on Threads or Instagram or something afterwards. We'll see. But also, I don't think he's stupid enough to do that.
I
Somebody's
don't
got
think
to tell
so
him
either.
that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, find me there. But yeah, it was good to be back after being gone for a while. So this was good. Hope to do it again next time.
Yeah, definitely. But thank you for coming back, bro. I wasn't going to do it
Oh
without
yeah.
you. I wasn't going to do it without you. As always, y'all can find me here, Roliver Queen Reviews. I just finished reading. Well, I'm close to finishing watching for the second time, and oh my god, yo, this nigga so raw. This is peak villain right here, bro. This nigga peak. This nigga the go. Woo! But anyways, y'all can find me there, talk about comic books, pretty feet and all that other shit. And yeah, y'all could find me on Roliver Queen Reviews if you aren't watching already. But yeah, 579 subs. Me and AJ just recorded a video that I'm gonna edit. And then I just recorded a Birds of Prey video that you guys will enjoy. It's a little bit of a rant video. And
Oh, you
yeah,
you got that up already?
Oh, I got yeah, I'm about to edit that shit and then put that out by
Oh,
end
okay,
of this
okay.
week.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
But yeah, I got a little bit of rant going on there. But yeah, um, thank you guys for checking out the content. The goal is to hit 600 before the year is over. If I hit 600 before the year is over, I would have beat the previous record that I set for myself. So I'm going dummy hard for the next couple weeks, despite everything I got going on with work. Cause yeah, man, I love the rush. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out the content. Please be safe out there, y'all. I know it's getting a little colder. So yeah, use sound judgment, all that shit. Be safe. This is Ro and this is AJ. Much love, much peace. We are